Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India overtakes Japan to become the third most powerful nation in the 2024 Asia Power Index published by Lowy Institute of Australia. Foreign diplomats get a feel of India's democratic process as the second phase of voting is held for 26 assembly seats in India's Jammu and Kashmir. 54% voting recorded till 5 p.m. And Hezbollah fires missile at Israeli spy agency Mossad's headquarters near Tel Aviv. UN Security Council to meet on Lebanon. India has become the third most powerful nation, surpassing Japan in the 2024 Asia Power Index. It reflects India's growing geopolitical stature. Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, India has gained global recognition. The country's dynamic growth, youthful population, and an expanding economy have all contributed to the nation's rise. India's participation in dialogues, economic outreaches, and its role in multilateral diplomacy and security cooperation add to its steady rise. India's substantial resource base and strong GDP growth continue to drive economic growth, making India a key player in the Indo-Pacific. Driven by strong GDP growth and positive investor sentiment, India is poised to remain among the world's fastest growing economies until 2030. Goldman Sachs says the country's earnings have started to stabilize over the past few years and that the growth momentum might sustain until 2030. India's profit pool is likely to shift towards investment cyclicals, which includes auto, real estate and chemicals, which could see the largest rise in profit share. Also, according to the global brokerage, Nifty's total earnings growth and market cap have both achieved an 18% compound annual growth rate over the past 5 years. Moody's Analytics and S&P Global back the claim, saying that India's economy is projected to grow faster and will remain above 6.8% for the 2024-25 fiscal. Now, India's Make in India initiative completes 10 years on Wednesday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has complimented all those who have worked to make the Make in India movement a success. In a blog post, he said that Make in India was launched to boost the country's strides in manufacturing and ensure that it grows as an exporter as well. The imprint of Make in India has become visible across many sectors, from mobile manufacturing to the steel industry. The Prime Minister highlighted that mobile exports have skyrocketed from a mere 1,556 crore rupees to an estimated 1.2 lakh crore rupees, which is a more than 7,500% increase. In steel, India has become a net exporter of finished steel, with production increasing by more than 50% since 2014. Defense production exports have soared from 1,000 crores to 21,000 crores, reaching more than 85 nations. Semiconductor manufacturing sector has attracted investments worth more than 1.5 lakh crore rupees. In renewable energy, India is the fourth largest producer globally, with capacity increasing by 400% in just one decade. India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman met Qatar's Finance Minister Ali bin Ahmed Al Kuwari ahead of an annual meeting of the Board of Governors of the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank in Uzbekistan's Samarkand on Wednesday. Referring to the historic and deep-rooted partnership between the two nations, Minister Sitharaman said that India continues to engage with Qatar for strengthening the ties. Qatar's finance minister appreciated the fast-growing Indian economy and welcomed the idea of exploring the huge potential for FDI in India. Minister Sitharaman also met Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank's president, Jin Lekun. India is the second largest shareholder and the largest client of the AIIB. The bank's president appreciated India's contributions to the governance and overall growth of the bank and expressed his desire to explore opportunities to further strengthen the ties with India. Voting for the second phase of assembly election in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir has concluded. Voting was held on 26 assembly constituencies spread across 6 districts including Srinagar. Till 5 p.m., 54% voters turnout was recorded in the second phase of the poll. 2.5 million voters were eligible to determine the fate of 239 candidates. The first phase on 18 September witnessed an impressive turnout of 61%. The third and last phase of polling will take place on 1st October and votes will be counted on the 8th of October. This is the first assembly election in Jammu and Kashmir after the abrogation of Article 370. A group of foreign diplomats visited Jammu and Kashmir to witness the election there at the invitation of India's Ministry of External Affairs. The 15-member delegation comprised diplomats from the US, Mexico, Guyana, South Korea, Somalia, Panama, Singapore, Nigeria, Spain, South Africa, Norway, Tanzania, Rwanda, Algeria and the Philippines.
Now, it's a pleasure. It's my first time that I'm visiting Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir. So it's really a privilege to be invited by the Ministry of External Affairs to come and visit firsthand today's polling stations being open.
And we are told it has started 7 to the end at 6. They are expecting everyone to come and the whole exercise will end at 6 when everyone has been already at the polling station to exercise their civil rights.
It's very good. I mean, this is my first time in Srinagar, and it's of course important for us to visit different states and territories in India to see the election and to talk to the people. That's the most important thing.
Israel unleashed more airstrikes on Lebanon on Wednesday, and Hezbollah militants targeted Israel's spy agency Mossad's headquarters and fired salvos of rockets into northern Israel in the heaviest exchanges between the arch foes in a year. The Israeli military said a single surface-to-surface missile was intercepted by air defense systems after it was detected crossing from Lebanon. An Israeli military spokesperson said he could not confirm what Hezbollah's target was when it fired the missile from a village in Lebanon. Israeli fighter jets have been attacking dozens of Hezbollah ammunition depots in southern Lebanon. In the southern Lebanese area of Tevnin, the Israeli Air Force destroyed a rocket launcher that fired a missile at the area of Wadi Ara of northern Israel on Wednesday morning. The Iran-backed Hezbollah said in a statement that it had fired a missile on Wednesday targeting the Mossad headquarters in a Tel Aviv suburb in support of the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip and in defense of Lebanon and its people. Hezbollah blamed Mossad for the recent assassination of its leaders. It has also accused the Israeli spy agency of carrying out an extraordinary operation last week in which the communications devices of its members were booby-trapped and exploded, killing 39 people and wounding nearly 3,000 in the worst security breach in its history. Israel has neither confirmed nor denied involvement in the attacks. Sri Lanka's newly elected President Anura Kumara Dissanayake appointed new cabinet ministers on Tuesday, with Professor Harini Amarasuriya taking oath as the 16th Prime Minister of the country. Now, Professor Amarasuriya brings a significant academic link to India. She spent most of her academic life in India. She completed her bachelor's degree in sociology at Delhi University between 1991 and 1994. She studied at the Hindu College, an educational institute known for producing eminent personalities in various fields. Sri Lanka will witness a snap parliamentary election on 14th November. Nominations will be received from 4th to the 11th of October. The 7th edition of Global Aerospace Summit, a premier forum for the world's aerospace supply chain, commenced on Wednesday in Abu Dhabi. The two-day event brings together industry leaders, government officials and academics to discuss sustainability, youth engagement and innovation in aerospace, space and defense sectors. The summit features panel sessions on various topics including space communication, air travel demand and advanced aerial mobility. Discussions will also cover global business aviation trends such as supersonic travel and sustainability initiatives.
A lot of innovation has been presented here. We saw people talk about machine learning, AI, sustainable aviation fuel, and so many more innovative technologies. We can easily see that the trend is towards newer technologies, reducing the carbon footprint that that the aviation industry has been kind of blamed for. And it's been a fantastic experience so far. Met a lot of innovators, a lot of early adopters, and we even presented the technology that we have built in-house from India for the whole world.
In India, less than 10% of the populations have been on the flight. So there is a really big growth in this sector. We're here to make sure that we do have sustainability in the aviation world because as we all fly, we want to also contribute to the environment. It is very important for us to get the innovation right now, the sustainability right now, so that we can fly for longer time forward.
Still to come on DD India Live. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate a new underground metro corridor in Pune. An Indian Industry Association organizes the 10th edition of Movement Against Smuggled and Counterfeit Trade 2024 in New Delhi. An UN agency praises India for making progress towards achieving the goal of ending AIDS as a public health threat by the year 2030.
Global warming and climate change are political and ethical issues. They're issues of rights, of equality and of justice. Let's take a look at some of these questions that surround the idea of climate justice.
We have to move to green energy, which is solar and wind and all others. And therefore, we cannot have such a large area for conservation of the GIB.
Art doesn't sort of hit you on the head and sort of make you feel defensive. It proposes, and then the viewer can take away an idea, a thought, and hopefully act on it to make a bit of a difference.
They had a show called Shubh Kaal, and it was one of their oldest radio programs. So I used that show as my platform and started to work on creating content around climate change for this particular show.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. The world is grappling with the detrimental effects of illicit trade, particularly smuggling and counterfeiting, which undermine economies worldwide. Masquerade 2024, or Movement Against Smuggled and Counterfeit Trade, is now into its 10th year in India. This annual conference has become a platform for addressing the challenges posed by illicit trade. Anil Thomas reports.
Smuggling and illicit trade are complex global threats undermining society, harming legitimate economies and reducing government revenues. Masquerade 2024, the 10th edition, is back and looks for building resilient economies and addressing the global challenge of smuggling and counterfeiting.
ये बहुत बड़ा illicit जो trade है, वो हमारे businessmen भी हमारे व्यापारी भी और हमारे लोगों तीनों से उनको प्रभावित करता है। तो उसे कैसे और सख्ती से, सख्ती मतलब कानून और सख्त कैसे बने, उनको सजा कैसे सख्ती से, प्लेंटी कैसे ज़्यादा लगे।
This annual conference has become a crucial platform for addressing the challenges posed by illicit trade. Representatives from renowned organizations including India, Switzerland, Singapore, USA, Denmark, France, EUIPO, UNODC, WIPO and the World Customs Organization deliberated on finding solutions in the national capital.
Illicit trade can be bettered through a coordinated, multifaceted approach based on the collective knowledge and experience developed by the customs community, of course in close collaboration with our stakeholders in private sector and civil society.
India is automatically a thought leader. What it has to do is continue doing what it is already embarked on, that is educating the world and its own population.
The report on the illicit markets in 5 key industries was also released. FMCG packaged food, FMCG household and personal goods, mobile phones, alcoholic beverages and tobacco products. Illicit markets in 5 key Indian industries is valued at 7,97,726 crore.
Unless and until we fight this menace, tomorrow same people who are today maybe supporting those countries would create trouble in their own countries. The entire supply chain gets taken over by the antisocial elements.
Illicit trade is termed as the crime of the 21st century by the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Illicit trade is the world's largest growing industry and its size is estimated between 650 million to 3 trillion US dollars according to multiple studies. Illicit trade or this evil business constitute roughly around 10% of the global GDP. So creating robust methods along with implementing them is the need of the hour to curb this menace not only in India but also across the globe. Anil Thomas, DD India, New Delhi.
Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Pune on Thursday. He will address a rally and inaugurate a new underground metro corridor. DD India's Yogesh Kumar Sheetal reports.
Pune is all set to get another infrastructure push by Modi government. The PM is scheduled to inaugurate the new underground metro corridor from Civil Court to Swargate and will also lay the foundation stone for an elevated route.
Pune is the second largest city of Maharashtra, which has gone through a tremendous transformation in urban transportation in the last 1 decade. And Pune Metro actually symbolizes this. According to news reports, around 4 lakh people traveled through Pune Metro in Ganpati festival couple of days back, which shows that the extension of metro line and new metro tracks are heartbeat of the moment.
Pune Metro is the first metro in the country with aluminium body coaches, which makes it lightest metro in the country. 100% water recycling at the station with zero effluent discharge, no tree cutting policy, integration of rooftop, grid connector solar energy are some of the unique features of the Pune Metro.
Pune Metro are known to be the first greenest metro that we are establishing. We are almost creating 11 megawatt of rooftop solar systems. Not just that, we are also the greenest metro in the form of we have not done any tree cutting. We have always gone for tree transplantation.
Meanwhile, Punekars are excited to witness the infrastructure boost the cultural capital of the Maharashtra is witnessing.
After taking charge as the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi has visited Maharashtra 42 times. But this time, since the Maharashtra Assembly election is around the corner, this visit marks not only political significance but also a political significance at the same time. With my colleague Kapil, this is Yogesh Kumar Sheetal reporting for DD India from Maharashtra.
India has made rapid strides in achieving the goal of ending AIDS as a public health threat by the year 2030. UNAIDS Director General for Asia Pacific, Eamon Murphy, has praised India's progress. DD India's Devyendra Mondal speaks to the UN official.
The regional director for the UNAIDS in the Asia Pacific region as well as Eastern Europe and the Central Asian region, Eamon Murphy, is on an India visit. And let me ask him, welcome to India first. And also, when we talk about the efforts that India is making in terms of, eradicating or perhaps working towards eradicating AIDS from India, how do you see the progress of India so far?
India has made significant strides. India is not like every other country. When you consider the population size, the geographic, the cultural diversity of the country, you have a whole range of epidemics here. But India has made significant strides. We've got a death rate that's declined over just over a decade by 79%. That means the government, the community are working together to get people into treatment. Prevention rates are slightly slower, but still significantly down, with 44% over that rate. Whereas Asia Pacific as a region is only 13% decline. So you can see India as a major contributor to the regional epidemic has really done a lot.
Also, the fact that India is talking about reducing, or in fact removing it as a public threat by the year of 2030. It's a long path that India has to walk and has been walking. What are the challenges that you see in this aspect?
Yes, to end AIDS as a public health threat. So AIDS will still be there, but as a public health threat in the community is a significant goal. And India has made that commitment. And there are different targets along the road to that. India has to start by building on the successes it's had. Where is its strengths? Where has it seen that dynamic working? But with the nature of a country like India, you're seeing resurging epidemics in parts of the country like Assam. You have large population states, which are equivalent to a number of countries. You have small population states. So you need different approaches in different places. A surge on prevention is still critical to the response here. The free treatment availability is a significant success and will be sustained by the government. But this innovation and changing the nature of prevention to respond to what's happening in the different epidemics in real time.
Well, of course, the government is perhaps doing what it has to do, but a large role needs to be played by the civil society as well in not just educating, but also providing the much needed support. How do you look at the role of the civil society and the community in this aspect?
Community working with government to design, to implement, to monitor the programs has been a hallmark of the success of India at the federal and at the state levels. And so there are new global targets that India will work towards achieving. The percentage of people who are involved in implementing and also then in monitoring the programs. And that needs to be sustained. And that means an investment by federal, by state governments and by cities as well. And I know the government is looking to expand that role of cities as part of that response, but critically making sure the community is there all the way through. We bring countries from around the world to learn from the India experience and expertise in this area.
Well, of course, that's a fantastic news that India is setting an example for many of the countries especially in the Asia Pacific region as well as in this part of the world. So of course, thank you once again, Mr. Murphy, for speaking to Doordarshan, and we hope the mission to remove AIDS as a public threat by 2030 becomes a successful mission for India. Thank you once again for speaking to Doordarshan. This is Dibyendu Model from New Delhi with camera person Kumar Datta for DD India.
Global warming presents multiple challenges for the developing world. The Indian government, in collaboration with the Asian Development Bank, inaugurated a Climate and Health Solutions India Conclave in New Delhi on Wednesday to find solutions for the global south. India's Health Secretary Apurva Chandra said that his ministry is committed to developing robust strategies that protect the health of the country's citizens while contributing to global climate goals.
The world is going to miss the target of 1.5 degrees centigrade every year. For the past 2-3 years has been the hottest in our history. And the impact on health of human beings is one of the most important issues which we have to deliberate on. And this topic is being deliberated here by all the experts, all the states. And this is very relevant for today's, us to frame our policies. The Prime Minister has already initiated the National Program for Climate Change and in Health, and under that we have prepared the climate change programs for 36 states which are to be released soon, and we look forward to the deliberations in this conclave for further enhancing our understanding of the topic.
India's G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant said that New Delhi's leadership during its G20 presidency has been instrumental in bringing the issue of climate change and its implications on the health sector to the global forefront. He said that through collaborations with key partners such as the Asian Development Bank, India and the world have a unique opportunity to shape resilient and adaptive health systems.
Different governments have committed to at COP21 in Paris. We will breach 2 degrees centigrade definitely, and if we are not able to achieve NDC targets, 3 degrees centigrades will be breached. Now this will have a huge catastrophic impact, and this will lead to vast segments of population going below poverty line. Forests will dry up, rivers will vanish, and the worst impacted will be countries of the global south. The global south will be faced with the dual challenge of addressing climate change while meeting the basic needs of our people. And this would necessitate us to do capacity building, build infrastructure, and ensure that we are able to do technology transfer from across the world.
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of DD India Live. You can get all the latest news and updates on the DD India mobile app. It's available on Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download it. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and Instagram. You can also check out our website ddindia.co.in. We'll be back with more news. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran from all of us here in New Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.